Hi, I'm Ralf Friedrichs. Welcome to Grand Central Station. The train to be here any minute, so if you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard. Let's go to www.clearviews.info, where I'll show you how a sober today can make a better tomorrow. If you're ready to get your life back on track, hop aboard the train coming in about 2 minutes. Thank you, and have a great day. www.clearviews.info. Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs, and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today we're going to be talking about the issues here in the United States and throughout the world about prescription drugs and the abuse that is going on within our own country and throughout the world. Usually we talk about, I speak about the Mayo Clinic receiving my information to pass on to you folks, but today we're going to be getting it from the Centers, Disease Control and Prevention. That's where I receive my information. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say thank you to two important people in my life. One, her name is Pam, and it's Hemp Hill, and she is the host of Time to Heal Recovery Talk TV show, and you can find them on Facebook under facebook.com/Time to Heal Recovery Talk show, Talk TV show. That's facebook.com. Then it's Time to Heal Recovery Talk TV show. The other person is Dr. Lou Gonzalez, and you can find him at startingpointmn.com. And again, his name is Dr. Lou Gonzalez. His phone number is 844-414-8444. There, you can reach out for receiving coaching on recovery, and also for you folks that are interested in becoming a addiction recovery coach, you can also find it there at Starting Point. That's startingpointmn.com. Dr. Lou Gonzalez. Speak to him, and you make sure that you tell him that Ralf Friedrichs sent you, and speak to him in reference to either if you need recovery coaching or you'd like to become a coach in the future. Speak to him. And I want to also again thank you, Pam Hemphill, for helping me out. She has been gracious enough to let me do commercial spots on her Time to Heal Recovery Talk TV show. All right, let's jump right into it. We're going to be talking about painkiller addiction, a national epidemic. Her last show, which is episode 11, which you can find either on YouTube. This is for the Time to Heal. Either find on YouTube, but to make it easier for you folks, you can go right to www.clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. You'll find, I believe, episode number 9, 10, and 11 there so far. Eventually, because Pam has been so gracious enough to help me out, and you know, we all are a community, and we all are soldiers in this fight for addiction. So she's been so gracious enough to let me do commercial spots on her show. What I'm going to do is create a complete page or an area where I'm going to, as she produces these videos, put them all on there. And also you will also find the information I just gave you on startingpoint.com. That's startingpointmn.com. You'll also find Dr. Lou Gonzalez's information on there within a week or so. It's just a matter of me fine-tuning some information, and you'll be able to just press right on his information and go directly to his website. So keep your eyes open for both those situations. And I'm sorry I got off track, so let's go right back to it. This is coming from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Center. Painkiller, a national huge epidemic. I'm going to read this to you. So according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, between the years of 2000 and 2010, the number of new prescription painkiller users increased by 104%, with more than 12 million people reporting their abuse. 104%, tremendous number. That same year in the United States, the CDC found that nearly 2 million people reported the abuse of prescription narcotics such as Vicodin, oxycodone, for the first time in what the CDC is now calling a national public epidemic. Pam spoke about this on episode 11. I'm speaking about it now. So here it is that we are all fighting this. Prescription drugs are being abused, and they're so easily retainable. And we'll go into all that, because what people do is they shop, doctor shop, and they go around utilizing different doctors to get their pills. Let's continue. There is a high rise in the number of patients seeking treatment for dependence on pain medication nationally, also globally, but let's, for argument's sake, talk about nationally. There has been more than 50% increase since 2000, from 2007 to 2012. I thought it was between 50 and 80. This is coming directly from them. They're saying about 50%, but this is also based to 2012. We are now at 2014, August. Incidentally, today is August 11th. It's the 11th, 2014. The CDC states that 2008, there were nearly 15,000 deaths caused by prescription painkiller overdose. 15,000. And those are 15,000 people that receive these drugs from their doctors, prescriptions from there. Maybe not some legally, but they did receive. The number of deaths from overdose of prescription painkillers is now much greater than those of heroin, cocaine, motor vehicle accidents, and suicides combined. All those, heroin, cocaine, motor vehicle accidents, and suicides combined, are not as high as the prescription drug epidemic that we're right now going through. Major ground is being broken in California, where the pharmaceutical companies are being accused of using aggressive marketing to push prescription drug use by doctors. Folks, do you remember when we a long time ago used to advertise cigarettes, especially Camel cigarettes, and then people started suing big companies, big anti-smoking companies started suing the smoking companies, and they were winning millions and millions of dollars. And the only way to prevent people from marketing things such as prescription drugs, such as over-the-counter drugs, such as anything that's illegal, the way you can stop people from marketing is by suing them. And I'm not a strict believer in suing, because I believe there's a lot of ambulance chasing going on. However, I will tell you this. If it comes out of the pocket, unfortunately, everything is money orientated in this country. If it comes out of the pocket of the companies that are promoting this, they will stop promoting it. That I guarantee you. Doctor shopping, chronic pain medication addiction. Again, this is coming directly from the CDC, and what that stands for is the Centers Disease Control and Prevention Center. Let me read this to you. According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, doctor shopping is one of the primary ways that the addicts obtain prescription drugs for non-medical use. They don't even need these prescriptions. They're utilizing to get high, utilizing to do whatever they're going to do with their fix. And that's, in a perfect world, we're thinking they're just utilizing it for themselves. But I can guarantee you this, that they're going out there and selling the pills, selling them possibly to children, young adults, selling them to whoever. Let's get back. Doctor shopping refers to when an individual visits several different doctors to obtain prescriptions for the same medication. So, what does that mean? What that means is, if I go to my doctor, I just had surgery for my knee, I go to my doctor and he gives me prescription for, let's just say, for argument's sake, oxycodone. Then I go to another doctor with the same issue at hand here, which is the knee issue. He'll give me the same thing. I continuously do that, and I'm shopping for different doctors. One doctor doesn't know what the next doctor is prescribing. However, I do believe that they're starting to now have a database of prescription being written by a doctor, and another doctor can cross-reference to make sure that there is not repeatedly the same prescription being written to the same patient. I believe. I could be wrong on that. I will look into it, and if I do have an answer in one of my other videos, I'll certainly pass that on to you. Let's get back to this. So it's the doctor shopping is going to continuously going to different doctors. They obtain the prescriptions for the same medications and then has the prescriptions filled at different pharmacies. So what they're doing is they're going to CVS, Rite Aid, People's Drugs. They're going wherever they're going. They're always utilizing different pharmacies because they know they can't go with the same prescription over and over to the same pharmacy. So that's what they're doing. This allows the individual to obtain more prescribed substance than any one doctor or pharmacist would allow. They have guidelines of how many to write and how many to dispense. Legally, doctor shopping is not a minor matter. It is prosecuted as a felony and punishable up to 5 years in prison. 5 years. Is that worth it? Let me tell you something. I think the 5 years is not enough because if somebody gets caught out in the open selling cocaine or crack, they're going away for a lot longer. So why not make this doctor shopping, using prescribed medications and either utilizing it for yourself or selling it to be as equal, on an equal level to any illegal drug. Just because it's prescribed doesn't mean anything. It's still not being utilized in a legal matter. Let's get back. 10 warning signs of prescription painkiller dependency. Thousands of Americans on prescription painkillers for relief of pain and discomfort from ailments such as headaches, menstrual cramps, surgery recovery, or lingering pain from injury utilize their doctors to get their prescription drugs. Now, we're going to jump, in a minute, we're going to jump right into the 10 signs. Unfortunately, however, for many, this reliance on medication can easily and unknowingly turn into physical dependency. Their immune system, do you remember we keep speaking about people that drink, they start off with 2-3 shots, build their immune system, such as I used to do, to up to 10 shots a day. And that's what they're doing. They're constantly taking medication and over taking those painkillers, and eventually their body is almost saying, I need to have it. I can't live without it. Just because the pain is gone from the injury, and I'm speaking as the body, still want you to give me that medication because I need it. And that is called addiction. The scary fact is that most commonly prescribed drugs, including oxycodone, Vicodin, methadone, Darvocet, Lortab, Lorcet, and Percocet, while offering relief from pain, can also cause individual bodies to start needing the drugs in order to feel normal. Do you remember I just talked about needing the drugs? Your body is saying, Ralph, do you hear me? I'm in here. Eat those drugs. Feed me those drugs because I, as my body, need it. Let's go back to this. And as a result, a new, even more challenging situation of chemical dependency. Here are 10 warning signs to watch for if you think someone you know may be experiencing a dependency on drugs. Each of these warning signs has a description of its meaning, so bear with me. Usage increase. What does that mean? That means your tolerance is starting to build up. You might have started with 1 pill a day. Now you need 2, 3. As time goes on, God knows what you're going to need after a couple months. So usage increase means over time it is common for individuals taking prescription medications to grow tolerant to the effects of their prescribed dose, which means what I just talked about. You become immune to it. If someone you know seems to be increasing his or her dose over time, this is an indication that the amount they were taking no longer providing relief for them. Their body needs it now. It's an addiction. That's exactly what an addiction is. This is the meaning of addiction, when your body needs it. And when your body needs it, it's going to be there. But you need to learn how to live with it, and you need to learn how to battle it. Number 2, change in personality. It's almost identical to drinking. Changes in a person's normal behavior can be a sign of dependency. Mood swings, slurring the words, going out of rhythm. In other words, doing things totally out of their realm of daily activities. Those are signs. Shifts in energy, mood, concentration may occur as everyday responsibilities become secondary to the need for the relief of the prescription provides. So everything is starting to change. The Ralph without drugs or prescription pills is totally different than the Ralph who needs them or has them. Uh, that's not to say I do drugs. I've never done drugs in my life. I am a alcoholic. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I am learning each day how to live with it easier and better. Number 3, social withdrawal. A person experiencing a dependency problem may withdraw from family, friends, and other social interaction. And why do you think that might be? Because they don't want you to see them in the state that they're in under the influence. They don't want you to see them, see you consuming the prescription drugs. Avoidance is the only thing that they know how to think that they're closet druggies or closet addicted people. They truly think that you are not going to know. Just as much I truly believe that I wouldn't drink in the closet, or I should say that when I did drink in the closet, that nobody would know, but people do know. People around you 24/7, people that love you, they do know the difference. Number 4, ongoing use. Continued usage after medical condition has improved will result in person needing extensions on his or her prescription. Continued usage after medical condition has improved. Your knee surgery, after 2 months, it's starting to feel better, but yet you keep running back to your doctor and every other doctor around you to get painkillers for a condition that doesn't even exist, but in your mind, you have convinced yourself to convince any doctor that that condition is still there and you are still in pain. The person might talk of how they are still feeling pain and just need a little longer on medication or to get well. I just need maybe another 30 pills, doc. Come on, doc. What's up, doc? Give me some more. And then you go to the next doctor and you say the same thing. He or she might complain frequently about doctors who refuse to write prescriptions for one reason or another. It's not the doctor's fault if he doesn't believe you or she doesn't believe you that you don't have the pain anymore. It's been 5 months since your knee surgery. Why do you still need painkillers? Why? I'll tell you why. Because you want it, because you're addicted to them. Number 5, time spent on obtaining prescriptions. How much effort and how much time? A dependent person will spend large amount of times driving great distance and visiting multiple doctors to obtain the drugs. Watch for signs that he or she seems to preoccupied with a quest for medication demonstrating that the drug has become their top priority. If they would only spend this much time on trying to fight their addiction and fight becoming a balanced person, if they would spend that time that they spend on obtaining these prescription pills on their own life and their own addiction and the recovery methods, they would be not having to even deal with this. Number 6, change the daily habits and appearance. Personal hygiene may diminish as a result of drug addiction. Why is that? Because they don't care as much anymore, because they're constantly foggy in the mind and they're not themselves. They're not the Ralph that you know, because this Ralph over here is addicted to prescription drugs. Again, let me emphasize, I'm not talking about me, I'm just making an example. Watch for signs that, let's go to number 6 again. Personal hygiene may diminish as a result of drug addiction. Sleeping and eating habits change, and the person may have a constant cough, runny nose, red glazed eyes. Certain signs, and that is almost equivalent to alcohol addiction or any other addiction, substance abuse addiction. Equivalent, almost so. Those are signs right there. Let's go right to number 7. Neglects responsibilities. A dependent person may call in sick to work more often and neglect household chores and bills. Folks, we're going to talk about this in a little while with what I call balanced life. How you need a balanced life. And when you start calling in sick and you ignore your household responsibilities, your husband responsibility, your wife, your father and mother responsibility, and the bills are not being paid, your life is crumbling around you as you know it. It's just crumbling around you. So we're going to talk about action plans. In a little while, we're going to talk about a balanced life, little while. Number 8, Increased sensitivity. Normal sights, sounds, and emotions might become overly stimulating to this person. Hallucinations, although perhaps difficult to monitor, may also happen. They start getting that paranoia. I always like to use this term, and I know that a lot of people, well, not a lot, my wife, Casey, likes to laugh at me because I call an hallucination when somebody has a substance abuse addiction conspiracy as we know it. That is their thing. Everybody's out to get them. Number 9, blackouts and forgetfulness. Another clear indication of dependence is when a person regularly forgets events that have taken place, appears to be suffering from blackouts. Although I never did drugs, those effects are there with alcoholism. They're there with alcoholics that have alcoholism. They're there. What's not here right now, today, in August 2014, is any of these. Why? It's because I have learned since 2013 and how to live with alcoholism, how to recover, the methods utilized to recover, and how to fight addiction. I am not only fighting for addiction issues and methods and all that for me, I'm here to fight for you. My friend that I introduced before, Pam, is here to fight for you. Dr. Lou Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com is here to fight for you. We are all here to fight together as a community. Let's go to number 10, defensiveness. When attempting to hide a drug dependency, abusers can become very defensive if they feel their secret is being discovered. Hence, closet. That's where alcoholism and drug addictions usually are in. They don't want people to know. They might even react to simple requests or a question by lashing out. Prescriptions to pain medication can be safe when taken according to the doctor's instructions and are carefully monitored. So if you have teenagers in your house and they have an injury and they're on medication, prescription medication of any sort, mommy, daddy, you need to monitor that. Grandparents, monitor it. Husband or wife, monitor each other. If there's any one of these signs, somebody needs to take charge and watch over the other one. That is love. If you love your husband, you love your wife, you love your children, you love them enough to do this. Let's go back to this. However, it is important to recognize that they can also be very dangerous. Young people every day, older people, dying of overdose. It seems like the easy answer for people. And when they start mixing the prescription drugs, regular drugs, and alcohol, it's a whole different ballgame. Remember that dependency is a disease. We talk about this all the time. It's a disease. Just because I am sober and I have been sober for such a long time now does not mean I'm not an alcoholic. I still am. I have just learned to fight and live with it. That is the difference, because I believe it here, so I can achieve it there. Let's see, where were we? Remember that dependency is a disease that can exhibit itself even in the most cautious individual. Even if that person is the most cautious person, if they get addicted, they'll get addicted. If they don't monitor themselves or have somebody follow them around as far as the medication is concerned. Therefore, anyone who is prescribed pain medication should take extra precautions to avoid the effects on dependency, because they can and watch for the warning signs on a daily basis. They can do that, and if they can't, whoever is in your household needs to help monitor this. It's very important. National Helpline telephone number. Important number. Write this down if you need to. 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-4357. That is the National Helpline telephone number. DEA turns to texting to fight prescription drug abuse. Now you can text. In Georgia and Pennsylvania are the first states to try this. In Georgia, you can text your tip to tip 411 or 847-411, and then use the keyword pill tip. Pill tip. Let me repeat that. In Georgia, if you're watching, you're in Georgia, you can text your tip to tip 411 or 847-411. Then In the keyword, use the keyword pill tip. In Pennsylvania, because these are the only 2 states as of right now that I know of, you can text your tip to a short code PPDTIP or 773847. That's what you can do for Pennsylvania. Go to www.awarerx.org. Sign up to receive AwareRx prescription drug safety newsletter. Sign up at www.awarerx.org to get your newsletter and drug safety information on a daily basis or as it comes out, emailed directly to you, and it's for free. Everything that we do here is for free. It's for you to absorb, for you to pass on, and for you to utilize. It's that simple, folks. We're going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to jump right into what we usually talk about. Then we'll do a recap once more, and etc. Painkiller addiction, a national epidemic. A national. It's global, but we're more concerned with the national level here because it does concern us daily. We know what the CDC stands for, Centers of Disease Control. Important organization. Doctor shopping. What is doctor shopping? Is when one person has an issue and goes from one doctor, gets a prescription, goes to pharmacy, gets it filled, goes to another doctor for the same issue, goes to a different pharmacy, gets it filled, and you see the connection. They do it over and over, and that's doctor shopping. It is considered a felony, and it is only punishable by 5 years in jail. So if you want to do this and you want to spend 5 years in jail, go ahead, do your doctor shopping, continuously do that when you get caught, because it's not if, but when you get caught, you'll have a home for 5 years, and you'll also have 5 years to sober up then. That comes free of charge. Compliments the Department of Corrections. It's a rehab organization attached to your prison sentence. And you know what? Maybe if you're that far into this at this particular time, maybe the best thing for you is to get caught. Because in 5 years where you have no access to alcohol and drugs, maybe that is your saving grace. Maybe that's what God has planned for you. So if you want to commit the crime and go doctor shopping and get caught, you'll not only get free room and board for 5 years, but you'll also get free rehab for 5 years. So that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. I personally believe it should be equal to selling heroin or crack, cocaine. I think 5 years is not enough, but those are the guidelines. The warning signs of prescription painkiller dependency. Number 1, usage increase. Your tolerance is building up. Change in personality, your mood swings, the way you carry yourself. Social withdrawal. You don't want to be around family, you don't want to be around friends, etc. Ongoing use, you just continuously use the pills. You just feel that you have to because you personally don't think you can fight it. Time spent on obtaining prescriptions. My God, I told you this before. If you would spend half that time on fighting your addiction, on how to continue your addiction, you would have probably been able to live without all these pills by now. It's too much time spent. Number 6, change in daily habits and appearance. Your hygiene is becoming unacceptable and irresponsible. Suddenly you're coughing a lot, running nose. Your eyes, they look like 2 tomatoes inside your head. Those are sure signs. Number 7, neglects responsibilities. You're not paying your bills. You're not acting as a husband, a wife, a mother, a father. The house is falling apart. Grass is getting long. Garbage hasn't been taken out. That is neglect. You're responsible. Increased sensitivity. Your normal sight, sounds, everything's bothering you now. Blackouts for forgetfulness. You don't remember what happened yesterday. You wake up in the morning, and if you do remember something, you might not even remember how you got into bed, or how did you even get home. Should you have even been behind a wheel? And if you are, shame on you if you were doing drugs. You have a lethal, deadly weapon that you're utilizing to get from point A to point B. No good, and shame on you if you're doing it, and stop doing it. Thank God if you have done it, you haven't killed yourself and or others. Defensiveness. I'm not doing it. What would make you say that? How dare you? I tried it one time. Have you seen me do it? No, they haven't seen you do it because you're in the closet doing it and you're hiding it, but they know the signs, believe me. National Helpline telephone number, 1-800-662-HELP, 1-800-662-HELP, 1-800-662-4357. Now the DAA is turning a lot of states, starting with 2 right now, into texting for help. In Georgia, you can text your tip to tip 411. That's 847-411. And in keyword section, pill tip. In Pennsylvania, a short code, PPTIP, which equals to 773847. If you email or go on their website for awarerx.org, you can sign up to get their prescription and drug safety awareness newsletter sent to you. It is not only beneficial for you and your household and your family, but for people that are in your life, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there that you know, a relative, co-worker, friend, that has an addiction problem. We're not just talking prescription addiction problem. We're talking any addiction. It could be alcohol. It could be pills. It could be any substance abuse addiction. Pass the newsletter information. Pass the telephone numbers I provided. Pass my information. Pass my videos. Go to startingpointmn.com. Get in touch with Dr. Lou Gonzalez. Tell him Ralph sent you. Not only can they provide coaching on how to live with your addiction, how to recover from it, all the different methods they'll provide to help you, but they can also help you if you are watching and you want to do a life-saving job, whether it's for money or not. If that's what you want to do, they can actually help you achieve your goal of being a certified addiction recovery coach. So go to startingpointmn.com. That's startingpointmn.com, and ask for Dr. Lou Gonzalez. Also go to Pam Hemphill. She's over on Time to Heal Recovery. On Facebook, you can find her at facebook.com/pages/time-to-heal-recovery-talk-TV-show. Very simple. On both of those, individuals will be on my Facebook. Pam already has a few videos. I'm going to designate a whole page to her and all her episodes. Right now I have 9, 10, and 11, so that will happen. And for Dr. Lou Gonzalez, there will be also his website on my website, and you can just click on there and go directly to him. In case I didn't tell you, his phone number, 1-844-414-8444, Dr. Lou Gonzalez at startingpointmn.com. Okay, now we're going to jump right into something else, and that's the usual thing that we talk about, and that is methods of recovery. What can you use to utilize achieving recovery? Will it be AA? Will it be going directly to a rehab center? Will it be methods that I utilize? It doesn't matter which methods that I bring up now that you utilize, as long as you achieve one thing, and your goal is sobriety. So if you want to use my methods, you can go to www.clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. You can also reach me at 631-599-0218, 844-393-9355, and you can go to Facebook, clearviews.info page. Now, you want to use do you want to use AA? I was going to say 2020. I don't know why. I must have been thinking about the news from last night. You want to use AA? They have the 12-step program. Their 12 steps are laid out in a fashion for you to understand to their guidelines. To their 12 steps, I have 16 alternative steps in my methods. So I have the 4 extra steps. The difference between my steps and AA is that I made my steps more understandable as to a layman's term, so everyone can understand it. The AA steps are more like textbook and more direct. I, for one, when I went to AA, I just felt it was structured in a way that wasn't for me, that I had a higher calling. I needed to be more active. So you have my methods, you have AA, and of course for you, if you are at home right now, and you happen to be watching this video and you're drinking or doing crack or doing coke, you obviously, if you're home alone, need to be supervised. Because if you're watching an addiction video on how to get you better, how to make your life better, and you're doing drugs and drinking while you're watching me, you have a bigger issue than you realize. And that issue is you need to be supervised, and you need supervision now, and you need supervision 24 hours a day until we get you back into check. So what you need to do is go to my website, www.clearviews.info, go to page 7. On page 7 you'll find every state in the United States. Go to the state you live in, click on that, and hopefully there's a rehab center nearby you. If that doesn't work, go to Google, go to search bar, put recovery centers in your area in there, and that'll show up. But you need to check yourself into recovery. Depending on how bad it is for you, they do have programs, 30, 60, 90, maybe even more than that. But that's what you need to do, because if you're watching my video right now and you're drinking or doing drugs, there's something seriously wrong here, because this video, like all my videos, constantly and exclusively concentrate on how to battle addictions and the methods. It's not meant for any entertainment purposes. It's instructional and educational purposes. So with that said, I hope to God that you found some information on that. Of course, you have other methods, or I should say other areas you can go to, which would be the Lions Club, the YMCA, Knights of Columbus. But folks, out of all the methods, out of all the programs that I spoke about, one thing has to be included. One thing, and that's your higher power. AA will tell you that, I'm telling you that, any rehab center will tell you that. Whoever the higher power is, in my case, and probably in your case, it's God. No matter if it's addiction related or anything in life, God needs to be included. Remember this, if you ask God for guidance and direction, He does give you that, because when God created you, when you were small, He created you the way He wanted you to be. Now, if you changed that as you got older and you changed it into being something totally different, you changed it to be an alcoholic, not that you changed it personally, but your body has become that way because of your addiction issues, you have become that way. If you've changed to do whatever you did in life to go the wrong direction, you need to ask God and say, God, I need guidance, I need direction. He's waiting for that. And when you say that, answers will come. Your prayers will be answered. It might not be immediately. Sometimes it takes a while. A lot of my questions are being answered now, and it's been waiting quite some time, but they do come. And God will take you back, create the person that He created in the first place, and that person will be the same person that you were. But you need to go to Him. You need to ask Him for guidance and direction. So now that we covered that, let's go into another thing, and that's to talk about well-balanced life. What is a well-balanced life? Is it your neighbor who comes and goes 9 to 5, cuts their grass perfectly every time, brings the garbage out at 4 o'clock every day, but inside that house, that person is doing drugs and alcohol? Is that a well-balanced life? No. What you have there is you have a addicted person that just knows how to appear to be a well-balanced life. A person. A well-balanced life is being able to do everything your neighbor is doing and living with that addiction, fighting that addiction, educating yourself for that addiction. It's not to make everything on the outside appear to be perfect, but on the inside, in the closet, this person's doing drugs and alcohol. Is that your neighbor? Do you want to be like that neighbor? If you don't, you need to get your life in check. You need to come up with an action plan. We talk about this all the time, an action plan. What is an action plan? An action plan is we list what needs to be done to conquer whatever you do in life. In this particular case, is we need to put on a list, how do we fight addiction? How do we live with addiction? How do we educate ourselves with addiction? Those are the things on your list, and when you ask those questions, you come up with the answers. Use methods to come up, whether it's my methods, AA, rehab centers, whatever. Come up with the answers. How do we live with addiction? It's to educate ourselves. It's to seek methods, to seek God. That's how we live with it. How do we fight it? Fighting and living with it are very similar. I fight it for me and for you. So how are you going to fight it? Are you going to just fight it for yourself, or are you going to be out there as a messenger, like I want to be, like Pam is, like Dr. Lou Gonzalez is? We're messengers. We go out and we want to help you. Because when you are sober, not if, but when you are sober and as your sobriety continues in your path of life, wouldn't it be wonderful to branch out and help other people? Wouldn't you feel good going to bed at night knowing that you are out there fighting? Pam, Dr. Gonzalez, millions of other people, and myself are soldiers in the fight of addiction. The epidemic in this country is huge. Prescription drugs being abused are on a rise. Alcohol addiction and drug addiction is on a rise. So we need to all come together as a community. Remember what the CLEAR stands for in CLEAR Views of my website. Community lessons empower addiction recovery. Community lessons. Pam has a lesson. Dr. Lou Gonzalez has a lesson. I have a lesson. It's our community's lessons that empower addiction recovery. It is my lessons to help you fight your addiction and show you how to continuously live with recovery. So that is what all that is about. So an action plan is very important. Once you have that action plan and you stick to it, like anything, it's like when you want to lose weight, you have to diet. When you want to gain muscles, you need to exercise. Well, if you want to be sober and live a sober life, you need to do certain steps, and that would be to educate yourself. You need to obviously avoid the drugs and alcohol. That's number one. But continue educating yourself on addiction and recovery, and never stop doing it. And by branching out and helping others, that is constantly, like I'm doing right now to you, what that is doing, it's refreshing my memory. Each and every video that I do refreshes my memory of what I'm about. What am I about? I'm an alcoholic. That's what I'm about. But I am an alcoholic that lives and fights daily, 24 hours at a time. It's funny because Pam just celebrated a I believe it was either 35 or 36th anniversary of sobriety. And somebody, I think it was her husband, who was going to give her a coin, and she for that plateau, and she graciously said, "I just want a 24-hour token." And why is it that she said that? It's because she lives like I live, like a lot of other people, millions of other people live. That's 24 hours at a time. Worry for today and today only. Tomorrow's tomorrow. Yesterday's gone. Today. Tomorrow morning, God willing, you wake up. You worry about that day, and etc. You see the pattern. That's what you need to do. So be gracious enough, be a very humble person, and fight addiction, not just for yourself, but fight for other people. There are a lot of people out there that are addicted that can't fight for whatever reason, that say they're sobering up, but here they'll sneak a beer and here they'll sneak a joint. That's called relapse. Yes, relapse happens. I've had 6 or 7, not since sobriety now. But when relapse happens, the one thing that you cannot do is go back to doing the old abusive methods or games that you played. You need to stay away from that. What you need to do, dust your knees, pull yourself up, step back, take a self-inventory, and go forward. Simple. Start again, because then you have another 24 hours in. The next day becomes 48 hours. Now I just want to give a couple more shout outs to my friend up north. I hope you're doing fine. I know things are going very well for you, except for you're working a lot of hours, so I ask you again. We spoke about stressors. Stressors are people that relapse because of stress. One of the stresses that I indicated is overworking yourself. Another stressor could be bills. Another stressor could be marital problems. Another stressor could be school problems. These are stresses. So when you start foreseeing those stresses appearing, you need to step back. slow down, and you'll continue doing. And you're doing an excellent job, and I'm very proud of you. I'll be sending you a copy of this video again. Now, we spoke about certain individuals in other states in my past videos, and I do have a direct message for each and every one of them at this point. Folks, you need to communicate with me. You know who you are. You know you're in Florida. You know you're in Texas. You know you're in Virginia. You know one is in North Carolina. I could go on the list, but you need to communicate. I'm not asking you to call me and chat with me every day. I'm not asking you to do anything other than let me know you're okay. Text me, or if I send you a copy of my video, reply and say thank you, just so I know that the mission that I'm sending, or I should say the message that I'm sending to you, is received by you. Whether you look at it, whether you want to accept it, that's up to you. But let me know that you received it, because I feel that when I send you a message, whether it being by text, telephone, videotape, that my mission is accomplished to a certain point, as long as I know that you received it. But if I don't know that you didn't receive it, or you did receive it, then I don't know if I did my job. So let me know. Communicate. Communication is the most important thing about addiction. That's why their AA has sponsors. That's why they want you to constantly dive right into it. So please, I'm directly sending you guys a message, and you know who you are. Communicate with me. 631-599-0218. My email, ralf.friedrichs@yahoo.com. That's ralf.friedrichs@yahoo.com. Website, www.clearviews.info. Facebook, clearviews.info. Another phone number is 844-393-9355. Now let's do my last recap on the epidemic of prescription drug addiction or abuse. And then we'll just close up with a few comments, and that'll be it for today. But let's go right back into it. I'm sorry, I like to repeat it 2-3 times, because I want to make sure that what I said the first time and the second time and the third time, hopefully you absorbed. Let's go right into it. Painkiller addiction is a national epidemic. The CDC stands for Control Disease, Centers for Control Disease. Doctor shopping. What is doctor shopping? Hopefully everybody by now understands, but I'll just give you a quick recap. Doctor shopping is just when you go from one doctor to the other, obtain the prescription, and then go from one pharmacy to another to have it filled. That's doctor shopping. They should really say doctor shopping / pharmacy shopping, because that's exactly what you're doing, but that's what it is. 10 warning signs of prescription painkiller dependency. Are you dependent on it? If you can answer any one of these, you might be. If you can answer at least 3, you are. So let's go. Number 1, usage increase. You started with 2 pills. Now you need 3, then 5, then 10. Change in personality. Your personality is changing. You're moody. You're everything's changing about it. The example here would be Ralph without drugs. Ralph with drugs is totally different. 2 different people. Drugs, no drugs. That is change in personality. Social withdrawal. You don't want to be around your family, friends, husband, wife, children. You want to just hide in a corner, do your drugs, do your prescription drugs, do your alcohol, thinking nobody will know. They do. Believe me, they do. Ongoing use. You continuously use this prescription drug, pills, or alcohol, or any drugs. Time spent at obtaining prescription. I'll say it, and I'll say it again. I said it once, and I'll say it again. If you could spend half the time that you spent on getting these drugs, on recovering and working with your system and your addiction, you'd be sober by now. You really would be. Change in daily habits and appearance. Your hygiene has become unacceptable, unbearable for some people, maybe. Your cough, runny nose, red glazed eyes. You might have that too. That's sign number 6. Number 7, your responsibility as a home are being neglected. You're calling in sick to your job. Your house is falling apart. Your bills aren't being paid. That's neglect. Increased sensitivity. Normal sights, sounds, and emotions might become overly stimulating. You might hallucinate. Everybody's against you. I say it, my wife's probably going to laugh right now. It's a conspiracy as we know it. Everybody's out to get you. They have nothing better to do. Blackouts, forgetfulness. You don't know how you got to bed. You don't know how you got home. Meanwhile, you drove home intoxicated of whatever. Alcohol, in this case, for this topic, prescription drugs. You used a lethal weapon to get home. You could have killed yourself. You would have been selfish by doing that because you took yourself away from your family. And you would have been even more selfish because you would have taken somebody else's life with your lethal weapon, that car, and you would have taken somebody else's life and broken a whole family apart. How dare you? Wake up and start realizing what you're doing to yourself, what you're doing to people around you, and what you might be doing to other families that you don't even know. Defensiveness. Now, as I'm telling you this, you're very defensive. You're very defensive, and you're saying, I don't have an issue. You're just blabbering on and on. Well, if you're saying that, and you're sitting there, and you either hungover from last night, or you're doing drugs and drinking right now, that's what the first sign is, defensive. Because people that really truly say, I don't have a problem, I only had a couple, I'm going to quit tomorrow, I'll slow down, stop nagging me, that's the perfect sign. I'm going to go over a couple more phone numbers. One more time, Pam Hemphill at facebook.com /pages /time/2/heal/recovery/talk/TV/show. It'll be on my website, so all that you don't have to memorize. Also, Dr. Lou Gonzalez at startingpointmn.com. That's startingpointmn.com. You can reach Dr. Lou Gonzalez at 844-414-8444. When you reach out to him, what he has there is recovery, coaching, and he also has how to become and also can help you obtain certification in addiction recovery coaching. A couple more phone numbers. National Helpline telephone number is 1-800-662-HELP. 1-800-662-HELP. Repeat it one more time. 1-800-662-4357. The DEA has now turned to texting for prescription drug use. So if you're suspecting people and you live in Georgia or in Pennsylvania, you can utilize these two numbers. In Georgia, tip 411 or 847-411, then just write in keyword pill tip. Pennsylvania, just short code PPD TIP or 773-847. If you want any kind of prescription drug safety newsletter sent to you, you can go to www.awarerx.org. That's AWARERX.org. So now we went over all these things. I hope it was very fulfilling for you, as it was for me. But like I always say, this 52 minutes just spent is my 52 minutes for educating myself, refreshing my mind of my addiction, which is alcoholism. So that for today's 24 hours, I just spent 53 minutes absorbing this information into me, and that gives me a goal to shoot for, and that's for tomorrow's 24 hours. Do you see how that works? Let this 53 minutes just now that we watch this together, and my giving you the message of prescription drug addiction and the epidemic that's become here in the United States and globally, but here in the United States for this particular version. Let this 53 minutes be your education for today. Let this 53 minutes give you a reason. If you're not sober or going through sobriety right now, give you a reason to seek sobriety. Let my methods, or AA, or a rehab center, be the methods you want to utilize. Even if you try one, you try me first and you don't like it, you go to AA, that's fine, or vice versa. Even if you go to the rehab center and after you come out doing your 90 days, you want to still utilize us for continued education. Utilize myself or utilize AA or any other method, because Remember, folks, at the end of the day, no matter what method you use, the main goal is to seek and maintain sobriety. Let's fight together. Let's be soldiers in recovery. If you are a sober person and have been sober, you need to become a messenger. Our community lessons empower addiction recovery. My website, clearviews.info. Let's all fight together. And I say this all the time because remember this, a sober day makes for a better tomorrow. And if you believe it in your head here, you can achieve anything you set your mind at, in your kitchen, your living room, wherever you might be watching me right now. I hope you have a great day. Today is Tuesday. It's beautiful here, like I tell you all the time, whether it's beautiful or rainy, but I always say in the Hamptons, today is a beautiful day and a sunny day. But even if it was raining here in the Hamptons, let the inside of my home be a Sunday day because of my fight for sobriety and addiction. So wherever you are, whether it's raining or shiny weather, shiny sunshine, if it's raining inside your home, let it be sunny. Just because it's raining on the outside, don't let that negativity bring you down inside. Let your home become positive. Let your home be a balanced home, and let you be a balanced person. Have a great day. More importantly, have a sober day, and may God bless you.